Do you want to lose weight, and have you tried Herbalife, or are you considering it? In this video, I'm going to be teaching you 5 reasons why Herbalife doesn't work for most people. And as a bonus, if you watch to the end, I'm going to be teaching you how to build motivation that lasts and appears when you need it most. So first of all, just to be clear, I'm talking about the Herbalife Formula 1 shake, which Herbalife themselves describe as a weight management tool. Now, before we get into the 5 reasons, how does Herbalife actually work? So just like any other diet, it works by reducing your calories. So we have the weight loss principle of, to lose weight, you have to eat fewer calories than your body needs. And then we have the weight loss method is, how do you apply that? What diet do you do? Some diets get you to count points or calories. Some diets like fasting get you to cut out food at certain times of the day. Herbalife gets you to replace meals with lower calorie shakes. So there's no magic to it. There's no special thing that Herbalife has that magically makes you lose weight. It's just reducing your calories. So now let's talk about the 5 reasons why Herbalife doesn't work for long-term weight loss for most people. Reason number 1, your diet is only a piece of the weight loss puzzle. So weight loss is actually a psychological problem. It's how you think, and you can't fix a psychological problem with a diet. That's why when most people come to me, having struggled with weight loss for so long, they tell me, I've tried everything. However, they've tried every diet out there, but they haven't actually tried working on their mind before. And yes, food is part of the puzzle, an important part, but it's just that. It's one part of the puzzle, and without the other parts, diets tend to fall apart after a certain amount of time. Weight loss is just difficult to do without those other pieces of the puzzle. So what are those other pieces of the puzzle? Well, you probably guessed one of them. It's exercise or movement, just general movement in your day. And the other one is, as I mentioned before, the psychological side, so your mind. And this includes emotional eating, how to react when you don't lose weight, setting boundaries around food, and even the relationship with yourself. And without working on your mind, you're likely to fall into those what's the point moments at some point on your diet, those effort moments where your standards start to slip. So your mind starts to negotiate with you and say, oh, just have another one, or you've been good this week, and all those kind of things. Stop the video, let me know, has this happened to you? If it hasn't, I'm very doubtful, because this is a very common thing with everyone, happens to me as well. And this leads me on to number 2, black and white thinking. Simplifying your diet with rules like drink a shake instead of a meal creates this on and off the diet mindset. Either you feel you're doing perfect and on the diet, but if something gets in the way, there's this big swing in the opposite direction, and then you're totally off the diet. And that's why we call it black and white, very clear, either totally on or totally off. Nothing in between. And this is not going to get you good results long term, because weight loss requires consistent progress with doing the best you can. And having set rules makes it very difficult to do this. You literally don't know what to do when you can't be perfect. Like I said, you go completely off the diet instead. And this leads me on to number 3. Herbalife doesn't teach you anything about how to eat for weight loss. This simplification that makes the diet work in the short term of replacing a meal with a shake makes the long term actually fail. It bypasses this important stage of how to construct a meal that works long term for healthy eating. So Herbalife works fine when you have the shakes available, but what happens when you don't? You don't learn anything about nutrition, how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, and this is a problem. So it comes down to how extreme are you willing to go with your shakes? What happens when you go on holiday? You're going to take them with you? What happens at Christmas? Are you going to drink shakes instead of a Christmas meal? And what happens when you reach your goal? Are you going to continue to drink the shakes as well? So what people usually do is they either do or they don't. So they're either totally on it or they're totally off it. And that's what I said before about the black and white mindset. And this is what gives inconsistent results. And while you're in off the diet mode, this is when your mind tends to negotiate with you more. It says things like, ooh, we're off the diet today, so let's just make the most of it while we can. Let me know if this happens to you below. When you're in off the diet mode, does your brain convince you to have more treats because it knows you're going to be on a diet again in the near future? And for some people as well, Herbalife can create anxiety around food because they don't know how to deal with it. So I've spoken to people that don't go on holiday because they don't want to risk putting weight back on with the holiday food, or they don't accept invites out for meals because they don't know what food is going to be around and how to incorporate that into their day. What you really need to do is eat real food, learn how to construct a healthy meal and build that into a healthy lifestyle. Make mistakes and learn from those mistakes so you can move forward and become better and better at creating this new life that you want. And number 4 is the actual ingredients of Herbalife Formula 1 shakes. The Herbalife Weight Loss Shake actually quotes the nutrition you get when you add 250 milliliters of semi-skimmed milk to it. So what you see on the label is not what you actually get in the container. I feel it's a scam quoting nutritional value based on something you have to add to a product that's not actually already in the product. What do you think? Let me know below. Do you think that's a scam, or do you think that's okay? So to give you an example, a mixed Herbalife shake will have about 17 grams of protein. However, there's only actually 9.8 in the powder. The rest of it you have to add through the milk. Herbalife don't quote your products with something you have to add that's not already in there. That's terrible. And why not add enough protein to replace an actual meal? Well, protein's expensive, so it's probably easier for them to let you add your own. And that's just the example with protein. Everything else is boosted by adding the milk as well. So everything that milk has is boosting that nutritional content that Herbalife quote on their label. So in my opinion, you may as well then just make your own shake with fresh ingredients and learn what goes into a healthy nutritional shake. And number 5 is losing motivation to do the Herbalife diet. So downside to weight loss is that you lose motivation over time with any diet that you see as effort or you don't like. So it's very common that as you approach your goal, you start letting your standards slip because there's less reason to do the diet because you've lost a load of weight. So your mind starts to say stuff like, I've done really well, so I deserve like extra weekend off, or something like, just an extra chocolate bar won't hurt. And this can be even worse when you reach your actual weight loss goal, because what's the point of doing something like a diet that's effort when you're happy with yourself? And this is what usually causes yo-yo dieting. So you've reached your goal weight, your standards start to slip a little bit, you don't see the reason to continue the shakes, spend the money on them, things like that. So you go back to eating how you were before. However, because Herbalife is a simple shake diet and you didn't learn anything about nutrition, you don't know how to eat in a healthy way. So you just have the habits from before, you put weight back on, and then you feel like you need to go on the Herbalife diet again. And this is the cycle that many people follow. They either start Herbalife again or do a different diet. And then over time, you've done every diet out there and you feel like you have nowhere else to turn. And this is when people come to me saying they feel like they need therapy and there's something wrong with them. Stop the video. I'm interested to know, how many diets have you done? Let me know down there in the comments below. And while you're here, if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button below. Not only helps you get notified, but other people as well. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I have a free bonus for you on how to build motivation that lasts and appears when you need it most in your diet. If you would like a copy of that, just click the link in the description below. So there you go. What do you think? Have you tried Herbalife? Were you gonna try it but have changed your mind? Love to know. And if you're still here, I feel this video will be useful for you next.